So 4 of the lymph nodes that were removed, 3 were involved. That was 6 years ago. The drama was back 6 years ago when you were diagnosed with melanoma. If you went to the internet and you just Googled melanoma, you'd get an American website or you'd get an English website and you'd say stage 3 melanoma, or even worse still, you'd write in there, in your Google search, you'd write level 4 melanoma, not stage 4 melanoma, but level 4 melanoma. And on that, you'd see these statistics that come up and say, yeah, this guy's not going to live for very much longer. It's really tragic. And I'm not that type of person. I'm not that type of person that will say, hang on a minute, I feel really good. How can that be? How can you predict me as a percentage rate? So I wanted to find other people who were sharing a similar experience to myself. And again, the tragedy of all that was I couldn't find anyone. Not a single soul would be out there standing up saying, hey, can you come over here? I'm also a melanoma, a person who has melanoma, a person who's suffering with this disease. Put it however you want, but I could not find a single person. But I had my lymph nodes removed and I had a block dissection, and I found that I needed to get massage therapy to reduce swelling and lymphedema. And my massage therapist slapped me about the head a few times and said, Herman, you're an idiot, you're self-employed, put on the back of your business card, cancer support group. I said, yeah, cancer support group of 1. But she was right, I did that. And I met another fellow by the name of Brent Grace. And at that time, Brent Grace was stage 4. And he rang me up and he said, Herm, I've heard about you, I hear you're starting a support group. Can I join support group 2? We not only joined in support group, but we joined in Melanomapatients Australia. What you see today is a legacy of 2 young fellas and 1 old fart, namely me, getting together and saying, yeah, let's do something. Let's bring a community together and let's start to think positively about this disease. And we've heard Professor Thompson, and it's fantastic to hear, as we say, specialists. We don't often get an opportunity to hear it, pardon the expression, from the horse's mouth, but it's great to be able to question and to have a doctor who's honest enough to say, well, this is what it is, this is how it looks. And I really applaud you, Professor Thompson, for that. Thank you very much. Going beyond that, I have a fantastic doctor in Queensland, Dr. Mark Smithers, and he himself is, you get attached to your specialist, you trust your specialist, you leave your life in their hands and say, well, what would you do? How would you treat this? And I follow my specialist and do as he sort of recommends. And I think as an organisation, Melanomapatients Australia, we highly recommend that. Develop a relationship with your specialist. They know the business. But beyond that, beyond the specialist door, when you leave that door, there was something missing. And that's where melanoma patients come into play. Melanoma patients started, as I said before, with a support group of 2 people, Brent Grace and myself. It developed very quickly into a support group of 18 people. The first support group we ever run, and then I ended up being the only survivor of that support group. I said, I can't do this anymore. That's it, I'm finished. I'm not going to run support groups, they hurt too much. And that was fine, I was living life happily. We had this website that was providing people with information and awareness and, just a forum where they could chat, and that was pretty cool and crazy, and I didn't have to do a great deal. Until a young mum rang me up one day and said, hey, you've got a support group, I saw it on your website. I said, no, we don't have that anymore. She goes, I need one. I have a 6-year-old daughter, I need one. We now have 19 support groups across Australia. What you're looking at here is the efforts of Jay Allen and his team in Wollongong and Sydney. Jay is a fantastic young fella and he's surrounded by a lot of people who love him. That comes through the development of support groups. When you enter a support group, you enter into a bond, you enter into a relationship that goes beyond just sitting there and moaning and groaning about your melanoma. It's not that. You've heard laughter in the room tonight before we had our talks. You heard a lot of laughter, you've heard a lot of bottles clinking, you've heard a lot of people chatting. That's a support group. We share as a family. The one thing we do share is a fear and cloud that hangs over our heads. That any day I could go stage 4. Any day Jay could go stage 4. Do we have hope when we're stage 4? Yes, we do. The beauty of being in our network is that we can introduce you to other people who are stage 4 who are doing well in their disease. It's not about the disease consuming you, it's about you living your life. We really proactively go out there and every day I say to my members, what are you doing today? Because each of us could leave here tonight and get hit by a truck. So it's not about being stage 4, it's not about being stage 3. What are you doing today? The message of Melanomapatients Australia is what are you doing today? Do not waste today. Because you're just one mile, one car accident away from your life stopping. And I think that, bless you, by the way. Now, where's Lisa? She's got to tell me how much time I've got left. Am I running out of time? Yes. I am. Just that engineering. Thank you, Lisa. One really, really important point, there's a couple of points, but when I was first diagnosed, a lady came up to me and she said, oh, congratulations. I said, you cruel woman, how dare you say congratulations? And she said, I would only say that if I knew the journey you were about to take. And I'm telling you, you now have an opportunity to live your life. What are you doing today? That's my message. What are you doing today? And then I bring you back to my daughter. Professor Thompson, I'm sure you've removed many melanomas on people's backs and things like that. Mine had an infection in it, so my doctor said, oh, we're going to leave that sucker open. And you just need to let that heal because there's an infection there, so you need to let that heal. My wife said, geez, that's an ugly thing on your back. I'm not going to bed with you. You sleep on your own. One morning I wake up. There's pressure just near my wound. At the time I had a 6-year-old daughter. Is that you, Sparky? She said, yep. I said, what are you doing? I said, I'm giving you my energy so you get well. You come to a support group meeting, you get our energy so you get well. And well doesn't mean you're cured. And let me stress that. Well just means that psychologically, physiologically, as good as you can be, that you have, and I know the support group members here tonight, you have support around you, and that extends. It's a brotherhood, it's a sisterhood. And let me just stress that. If we're not doing that in our support group, we're not doing our role. There are many agencies and organisations you can go to that will offer you information about melanoma. But we're the agency that offers you a hug if you want a hug. We're the agency that will sit with you when you're in hospital and just hold your hand and say it's okay. And sometimes you need to get that away from family. Sometimes you need to relieve that burden from family. So I just want this. I know these people are here and they're going to do that for me. Jay Allen, I call him J Dog, because we drove the truck together for 8 days. While I drove, he just passed me and put his foot up and said, it hurts. But he's got love. Janine, she's got that love. The support groups have that love. When you're here tonight, you're supporting Melanomapatients Australia. It goes beyond this room. There's a woman in Adelaide at the moment who's doing it really, really tough. But I can guarantee you there's members here tonight that will be SMSing her and saying, hey, this is a good night. You know, describe the night, help her live in the moment too, so it spreads, it's around Australia. And it's really important to remember that. While we think that this is unique group, that you're a fantastic bunch of people, it goes beyond that. And our mission is to continue that hug around Australia, continue that love around Australia, and continue that support. So on that, I'm just going to say, see you later.